welcome all. My name is Sudesh Anand, and I'm the founder of Lead Techno. This is an IT staffing and training firm. We are operating in the US and Canada, and we help folks get into a more of engineering and analyst careers. We also do DevOps, data engineering, cloud engineering, cybersecurity, Workday,
Hiya.
Guideware. If you're not talking, please mute your mic. These are some rules, right? If you're, please be cautious about your mic. If it's, you want to talk to your friend, that's okay, but you want to mute yourself. So once again, welcome all to the ServiceNow Bootcamp session. This is officially the first day. We've been meeting folks for the last 2 weeks, and we were talking about this amazing career. I've been talking about it. Many of you would have been to my info session. Some of you guys are literally seeing me for the first time. That's okay, right? And this is a US and Canada registered company, and we help folks get into technology jobs, especially for ServiceNow BA. You don't need to have any coding background, okay? We are targeting business analyst role with a specialization in ServiceNow. ServiceNow is a cloud and also an AI-based tool. All right, and we have our portfolio manager. We have Gurpreet with us. She's going to take us into the training, and she's the consultant, and she'll talk about the roadmap. But she takes over, I want to welcome you guys. And some of you guys spoke to me. If you are here to explore, that's okay. We are offering the first 3 sessions totally free. We're going to train you on the BA first, then we're going to go on with the admin tool, ITSM module, HRSD module, and then ITBM module for a period of 8 to 10 weeks. And then we'll slowly take you into interview preparation, certification help, and we will also help you with your resume marketing in US and Canada. And we will literally get you to speak to the recruiters who can get you the interviews. And with our help, you will secure your first 6-figure paycheck. And we also have some consultants who are here who already have a BA experience. That is great, and try to transition into BA, into ServiceNow. So that is good. It's very important for you to understand, for me to help you, you need to get on a phone call with me. Okay. That's how you'll understand how I can check out a plan. It's different for everybody. Okay. With that, I welcome you all, and Gurpreet, you're there?
Hi, Sudesh. Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm there.
Gurpreet, good morning. Your voice is a little low. Is it fine now?
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it's good now. It's good now.
Perfect.
Gurpreet, thank you for coming. And she's a lead consultant in ServiceNow. She's got tons of experience, guys. She has helped a lot of our folks secure a ServiceNow BA job. Okay, you're in the right hands. And over to you, Gurpreet. And before you end the session, give me a shout back. I can close the session. Okay. All right, here we go. Over to you, Gurpreet. I'm going to give you the host now.
Thank you, Sudesh. I'm going to share my screen quickly. Please let me know if it is visible for all of you. Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, let me try again. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is now. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So, good evening, everyone. And yeah, and welcome to the ServiceNow Business Analyst in the era of AI. So before we start, I want to ask you a very simple question, like all of you, that why are you here? Because definitely when you have joined this session, right, you are looking forward to enhance your skills. You may or may not be from an IT background. So, or maybe you're looking for your first opportunity in IT. And or maybe you're already working in technology, but you want to move into a client-facing role or maybe a functional role, right? And perhaps you have heard about ServiceNow and business analysis, but you're still trying to understand that what the career actually is going to look like, right? Or maybe, this certain boom in the AI technology has made you wonder that, what we can do with the business analysis, right? How we can like you can still do business analysis, but how AI can enhance it further. So if anybody would like to answer, like I would like to have at least two to three responses. We are a group of 24 people. So anybody who would like to volunteer about like why they are here.
Hmm. So I've picked this program. My name is Guna. I picked this program because I
Hello.
am from.
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible
Yeah.
to me.
So I am from a different background. I completely like off working in a different background, and I wanted to switch my career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I attended the info session, and this seems like a right path without any coding knowledge. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Guna. Okay, anybody else who would like to share why they are here today?
Hey, hi,
Yeah.
Gurpreet, this is
Okay,
Sandhya.
go ahead.
Hi.
It's okay, it's okay. You can go ahead. I'll talk later.
Okay, I was gonna say, yes, hi, my name is Ty, and
Hi, Ty.
hi, how you doing? I do have some BA experience, but I'm trying to learn about ServiceNow. I see a lot of opportunities in ServiceNow, Salesforce, and stuff, other products like that. So that's the reason why I'm in the ServiceNow. I just want to learn more about, ServiceNow, how it works, how the platform works, and everything, and how I
Mm-hmm.
can plug myself into being a BA in that, in that using that platform. So basically, that's why
Perfect.
I'm here. Yeah,
Thanks, Ty.
thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Sandhya, over to you now.
Yeah, hi, Gurpreet.
Hello.
I have a bit like few years experience as a BA some years ago, and then I've just completed my postgraduate certificate in business analysis. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to enter into the field where I can bring any product specialization rather than just looking for a general BA role because that lands
Mm-hmm.
me a job. So that's why
Mm.
I'm here to get specialized in an area.
Perfect. So which area you're specifically targeting over here?
ServiceNow, because
Nani
I've been asked to demonstrate the ability to
nite
ServiceNow in few of the interviews. So because I was
yani
not having any
muswinge
experience,
yani
I had to.
Yeah. I think that's a great
àtàrẹ nígbà
move.
kan pè mí
Sandhya.
lánàá bọ̀ tí mi sọ kan fún wọn wọn náà kàn án kọ wà
Okay.
lọ́dọ̀ mi ni.
You
Nikki,
might
I
want to
think you are
mute.
not on mute. Can you please
You can mute him. You can
náà
mute
mo
him.
orí kan ń fọ́ mi láti
yeah.
ijọ́ Thursday so mò ń lògùn kò lọ mo try
Okay, I'm trying to do from
mo lọ
here.
sí working níjọ́
Go to the
Monday
participants and you can
so
mute.
doctor ṣáà fún mi lọ́gùn mi ṣáà lọ ra wọ́n tiẹ̀
Okay,
prescribe ẹ̀ fún
Sudesh,
mi
can
ni.
you please guide me from here how I can mute
Hang
everyone?
on 1 second. Let me take the host. Give me a second here.
Okay, sure, thank you.
So mi ṣáà fi
Sorry about that. Give me a second here.
relief so mo ti wá lọ ṣe wọ́n ti fún mi ní kíní paper blood work so mi ti lọ ṣe ní àná. Lágbára Jésù.
Okay, guys, please let's have a few minutes until
Lágbára bá.
Sudesh is like muting. So
Ta
Yeah,
ni ẹ?
I
yeah,
can
he's muted,
No,
but
ọ̀tá mi sì gan ń pè
looks
mí.
like he doesn't realize that.
I don't think so because I can still hear his voice. I think it's same for everyone, right?
Correct. We can
And
hear we
Yeah.
can hear
okay,
hear him.
1 second.
Okay.
What about now?
Yeah, now we don't hear.
Yes,
Yeah,
now
that's
it's not
because I
audible to me. Yes.
that's because
Okay.
I had to remove him from like the session.
I keep
Right. Sorry
forgetting the
about
option
that.
to mute everyone, so Sudesh, I need to learn
Okay.
that.
Okay, that's
Okay.
okay. That's okay. It's on the bottom. But I'm going to make you the host again. Give me a second here.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Okay. I hope
Is
we
that
are back to my screen now. Everybody is able to see it.
yeah, yes, you are.
Perfect. So thanks, Guna, Tai, and Sandhya for sharing your like why you're here, right? I can see
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
that most of you are like IT
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
professionals.
o.
You are curious to learn service now, right? And many people must be curious about AI.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni
I
o.
also want to know or want somebody, at least one of you, to volunteer who is from a non-IT background, right? Who is looking to learn BA with AI and service now. So any career switches here? Over.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Rupinder. Yes, you're audible to me.
Yes, I am from non-tech background. I do have
Mm-hmm.
experience, but it's completely not related to IT. So I'm looking for a career transition.
Okay, perfect. So I think that sets us on a very good note to start with our today's session, right? But before we move ahead, I would like to give a quick introduction. And before even I proceed with my introduction, right, I would like to say that because now since you can see how different people from the different backgrounds and learning experiences are coming together to learn the ServiceNow BA role, right? And how we can make the best use of AI, how AI is actually helping our role and not replacing it, right? Which we will be discovering a lot in our coming session, like as we will be moving ahead today. So today, I just don't want to give you a dictionary definition of business analysis. I want you to experience that how a business analyst actually thinks, right? So by the end of the class, you all should be the people have this mindset, okay, the BA is just going to talk to client, gather the requirement, create some documents. No, it is beyond documentation. You do the brainstorming, you do the analysis, and that comes naturally into the picture once you're well aware with the ServiceNow platform, right? And once you know the BA skills. So, how a project problem becomes a solution. This is where the BA bridge comes. You as a BA, you become as a bridge between the team, right? Between the business and the technical people. And then what a BA's days look like. So next we will be covering this that okay, if you are becoming a BA, what all you will be doing in your day, right from workshops to UAT, because there is a certain project life cycle. You start with the workshops, requirement gathering, and until the user acceptance testing, which is the last step before going live. So how would your day as a BA would look like? Then we will see where the AI is changing the work, right? How it is helping us to speed up plus scale up, right? And then once we know how AI is changing the work, now we will learn how to think with the AI and not blindly use it, because too much excess or excess of anything is not good in either way, right? So we need to learn how to best in the best way optimize the use of the AI, right? And then we will lastly in the last 10 minutes 10 to 15 minutes we will go through your 8-week learning journey, because I understand we have first three sessions, so you need to understand how we are proceeding ahead. But if you have a clear view of your journey ahead, that okay, how we're going to cover the BA service now plus AI, you will be better able to decide for yourself. So without wasting any time here, we will move ahead, right? So let's start with the business problem. As I said, before we define business analysis academically, this is the real situation now. Imagine a client is telling you, our employees are complaining that HR request takes too long, right? We want to automate the process in service now. Now, would you give this directly to a developer?
No.
Yes, no, right? Okay, how many of you are saying no for this? Business is giving you this problem, and how many of you think that we would directly give this? Can I have a raise of hands or thumbs up? How many of you are saying yes for this?
No, no.
Okay, only two people. And how many of you are saying no?
I would
Okay,
say no.
perfect. Yeah. And how many of you say it depends? Okay,
The developer
perfect.
is not going to know what to do without the client's workflow and process
Exactly.
and source of truth.
Right. So that is the thing, for those who have said yes, I know there were very few people who were in the favor of yes, but if somebody said yes, can I know why you would choose this option? Okay. And so people who said no, I would like to know why would you say no?
First, it's too vague to give it to the developer. First of all, we need to understand the pain points of the user and
Hmm.
analyze the current process and the gap between current and the future state, and
Mm-hmm.
gather the requirements and find out the future process map. And after working out the stories, and then we need to break the stories into releases, and finally it will reach to the developer, not at the first stage itself. So there are a lot of phases to go after this.
Okay, perfect. And anybody else who would like to answer? Why you selected yes or no to this question? That would you give this requirement directly to a developer? I think Sandhya has already explained in a very good way, but anybody else who would like to let me know. If not, let's move to the whiteboard, right? So let me, okay, I don't want to show you questions in the first place because that is something I want us to do together, right? So yeah, better I should open my Excel. So let me open my Excel and we can explore it together, right? Yeah. Okay. So now, since you said, we won't give this requirement directly to any developer, right? Why? Because there is a lot to explore here. We definitely need to refine the requirement, right? We need to talk about it, like how the things are going. So now someone might say, the kind of question that could come to my mind, or some of you might say, is that who approves the request? So the business problem is that our employees complain. So the business problem is our employees complain that HR requests take too long. So since they're taking too long, now they want to automate the process, right? So now in order to first understand that, okay, we know where the roadblocker is, right? We understand that. Now our next concern is that since they have given us this clear key area that okay, this is what we need to improve. Now the kind of questions that would come to your mind is, I started with the first question that I would be asking as a BA. So who approves the request, right? Now, anybody who would like to tell me what other type of questions you would ask?
Which HR request is the most common?
Yes, perfect. This is really good. That was, who was this?
Noor. Sorry, my name's Noor.
Okay, hi, Noor. Oh, that's a really good question because this is very important to understand which requests are being frequently used. Any other question which is coming to the mind? For those who said, no, we won't give it to developer. So definitely, if you're not giving it directly to the developer, we need to refine the requirements. And in order to refine the requirements, you need to have those sort of questions in your mind to be answered by the client. So
Uh,
who approved the request? Yeah,
Which
So
please.
and
department?
also we should be knowing like what is the time that is consuming or any other similar issues that has been prompting for the users.
Perfect. So we can say simply, how long does it currently take, right? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And apart from time, if there is any other factors as well, we need to check on all that.
Right. We can say any kind of approvals required, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah. So I heard somebody else was also about to say something,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
which
I think
department
about
takes
the timing.
longer?
I think it's Bhanu or
Yeah, which
yeah.
department takes longer? Most affected departments.
Okay, yeah. Which department takes longer? Any other questions which I think if we are stepping into the BA world, within some time we should have this entire screen filled up with the questions.
So
Just keep your
why
curiosity. Yeah,
is this delay happening?
perfect. In the first place, why the delay is happening, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
Okay.
the
one
main
of
thing
the.
is in a day, how many HR requests is being raised on an average, and is the system scalability in a good working condition, and we need to find out how many requests is being raised in a day. That's a major thing.
Okay. So average of the
So,
HR request, right?
Um,
um,
there could be the priority status of the request. How urgent is one over the other?
That's correct. So priority also makes a lot of difference. Priority of the request.
So there's an onboarding process, there's a terminating process, there's
Mm-hmm.
so we got to look at what are the different, so there's a
Mm-hmm.
workflow, and the workflow varies depending upon what type of, what do you want to call it, task or request. So from onboarding, that's one workflow. For someone that's going on leave, that's another workflow. For terminations, that's another workflow. Um, and then it, based on that client, how many regions are there? Is this client just
Exactly.
isolated to one state, or are they US and internationally? So, and
Exactly.
then, yeah, so it's a variety of factors. So I first always go into documenting that current state, and,
Perfect.
mhm.
So
So,
this is the best answer so far, I would say. The first thing that you start as a business analyst is to understand the current state. Now, to understand the current state, you will ask these sort of questions. Okay, so currently, let me know how your process is running. If people are raising the request, what are the different channels? Somebody might be raising it via email, via text, via Teams, or via, let's say, phone call. So there could be different channels to raise the request, right? So let's add the channels to raise the request. Now, if there are so many channels to raise a request, how the tracking is being taken care of, right? How they are being tracked? Because if there is no tracking, there is no visibility, then how you can expect the efficiency and how you can expect everything to be done on the time, right? There will definitely be delays. That could be one of the major reasons that this is taking so long for HRs to take action on their items. So you see, within 5 to 6 minutes, we have around 13 questions for us. This is exactly
so
what a B is, right? Yeah.
quick question. So
Mhm.
this is referencing the functionality of the HR module. What is it named for ServiceNow? The HR module, what's the name of it?
Human service delivery. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
separate module. But right now, what we're doing is we have taken some one specific scenario, business problem, where we are trying to get into the refinement session, like how the requirement can be more refined so that we can get these questions answered and convert it into a structured user story and pass it on to our developers to work on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yes.
if you're ever given a business problem like this, so this is our business problem, and these are all sort of questions that as a BA should be coming to your mind. And why these questions are coming? Because you're trying to understand the current state and then at the same time, you're trying to design the future state. So these two are your core areas, I would say. As whenever you're beginning on a project, first thing you need to do is understand the current state, and then at the same time, keep getting answers for how they want the things to be, right? They said we want to automate the process. Okay, you want to automate it, but now in order to automate, we need these kind of things, which are HR requests are the most common. So we can put it under most requested items, and then we need to understand which department takes the longer, or let's say what is the average of the HR request in a day, right? Average time they're taking, the priority, the task. So you're trying to actually document the future state while understanding the current one, right? This is how exactly.
Question. Under your
Yes.
business problem, because this is really good with you making out your template. So under that business problem, would you put solution, goal, or objective, and then put automate the process there, separate from business problem? Just asking how you break it
Okay,
out.
so you're referring to the template that we're creating, right, with the list
Yeah,
of the
that you're
questions.
creating. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
Mhm.
currently, this is a very rough, I would say, a template. In order to have a proper professional requirement template, we definitely need to structure it more, right? So
Yep.
those templates you usually build, they are mostly available out of the box in ServiceNow, right? In the Now Create, there is a methodology. So once you have access to the ServiceNow ecosystem, there is a platform there, Now Create, where you would find all these artifacts already built into, right? There will
Okay.
be requirement gathering templates specific to the ServiceNow modules, whether it's IT or HR. you will find them,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Okay.
at times, because those are way too complex for the clients to understand, so based on your understanding and learning of the ServiceNow platform and the modules under it, you can actually build your own requirement gathering templates in a very layman terms, which client can easily go through and fill in the details about, right? If I
Yes.
go to a random person, let's say my client is naive, they don't know about ServiceNow, and I put these questions in front of them, will they be able to answer? Definitely yes. But if I take some very complex requirement gathering template in front of them, would they be able to do it without my help? No, they won't be, right? So requirement gathering templates is very important, which we will be covering as a part of our BA training. That's actually one of the most important document we need in order to do our role, right? Perfectly. So yeah, we will be learning about it. But yes, templates are very much required.
Gurpreet, I have a question here. In
Please.
general, as a common practice, we as a BA use the Visio and Draw.io and a lot of application to draw the current state and future state process map. So I'm
Hmm.
not aware of this ServiceNow auto inbuilt formats, templates. So you mean to say there are already inbuilt templates which we can use it for ServiceNow, right?
Not for the flows, I would say, but for the requirement gathering templates where the columns are given to you that what kind of information do we need related to this particular topic, right? So,
Okay.
but flows definitely you need to design yourself because that's one of the core skill of a BA and which you should be very good at it, right?
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah.
you can
Okay.
always get your requirement gathering template, and in today's world, with the help of AI, you can create a wonderful workflow if you have your requirement gathering template filled out. You just give it to the AI, and it's going to draft you a wonderful workflow. So
Yeah.
yes, I think that's what we are, going to learn.
Okay.
Now, yes, I was saying. So yes. Now the very practice where we just shifted to the Excel, we looked
Mhm.
into the business problem, and a lot of questions came to our mind. Now,
Mhm.
this is exactly what that was a business analysis, right?
Yeah.
These kind of practices teaches more than any slides or any training which can define the requirement elicitation to you. This was actually a part of requirement elicitation or requirement gathering, right? So these
Mm.
are the like gaps that were there. So one
Oh,
sentence can hide dozen of requirements. What was the one sentence? This: our employees complain that HR requests take too long. We want to automate the process in ServiceNow, right? So this was a one sentence, but it has dozen of requirements. The requirements are that, okay, what do we need to do? Why? Is there any SLA? SLA basically means how much of time, each individual or team is going to take to complete the task. What kind of data do we need? Any security constraints? What if scenarios? Any approvals required? Who is going to do what? Right? This is what all we need to do. So who submits a request? What type of request types are there? Who approves it, any exceptions, any integrations with the third party systems, what all notifications need to be sent out, what all reporting do we need. This is exactly how you think as a BA, right? So
yeah.
this is business analysis. You received one vague sentence and discovered the information required before a solution can be built, right? So this is a major, I would say, transformative step once you step into the BA role. This is your one of the core area where you are asking the questions and getting the right answers. Okay. Now let's try to do it using the chat GPT. Okay. So because since we have to leverage the AI to its best, we need to learn how to do it. Okay. So I don't want to keep it out of the picture. Now let's put a prompt related to this. Right now, what we did was the human interaction, right? This was the human questions. Now, how to make the most of the BP, like AI into this? So let's say we are giving so you should be very good at prompting in order to get that. Okay. Now, let's say you are a ServiceNow. I'm going to prompt into ChatGPT. You're a ServiceNow business analyst. A client has stated, so we need an employee. Let's take some different scenario this time, right? We need an employee leave application in ServiceNow. So this is the requirement which has come to you, right? So now this is something which I've told him. Now I need to be very descriptive about my prompting. I need to let them know that what is exactly that I'm looking for. So I want him to do not design the solution yet, because that is not part of my role as of now. I want him to rather identify the requirement gaps and generate structured notifications. Not notification, I would say structured elicitation questions. When we say elicitation, that's basically the process of refining the requirement, right? I'm just letting you know that right now what we did was a human curiosity, right? But let's try to understand from the AI perspective, like up to which level it goes, so that we can see the gaps it is filling. So, and generate structured elicitation questions covering users, process, and what else could be there? Approvals. Yeah, approvals could be there. Business rules, any exceptions, any data, any integrations, notifications. So for any process you are doing, whatever I'm writing right now, these are like the core areas which you need to cover, in order to get the complete full-fledged requirement. Now, last is reporting. So let's share this prompt to the AI and see what kind of results it gives to us. You will see the difference, how AI identifies something that we missed. So it says at this stage we need an employee in a business need, who we need an employee leave application service now is a business need, not an implementable requirement. Very obvious, right? As a ServiceNow business analyst, I would avoid discussing catalog item, workflow, flow designer, HRSD configuration table until the underlying business requirements are understood. So below is the structured requirement gap and elicitation framework I would use in the discovery workshop. Now you see how it has made sure the kind of work you're delivering as a BA in today's world, AI puts, more refinement and accuracy to it. It will make sure you're not missing out on any question that needs to be asked in order to get the proper requirements from the client and to build a very smooth and like properly functioning system. So the first question is related to users and personas, which is very important, because in order to do any process, first we need the people who will be doing it. Gap is that we still don't know yet who will request this leave, who will review it, who will approve it, who will administer it, or who will view the leave. So the elicitation questions would come to your mind is, who should be able to submit a leave application? Only employees, or also the contractors, or also the interns or the consultants, right? The second question it is saying, can managers or HR submit leave on behalf of employee? Because sometimes what happened, that person is not feeling well or due to XYZ reason, they are not there, right? Someone should be able to submit the leave on behalf of them. Can an employee submit leave on behalf of another employee, such as an assistant submitting for an executive? Are there different employee populations based on country? Now, I think this question was asked by, shared by one of you. Somebody said based on the regions, the different languages, right? So that was a very good question, because when we are thinking from a global perspective, or whenever we are talking about implementing something new, now that organization could have their branches into different countries, different regions. So it's very important to understand that, based on the country or the department or the location, the grade, the employment type, are there like, different employee populations based on that? Who needs to view an employee's leave request? What responsibility should managers, HR, payroll, and leave administrator have, right? Now, in the leave application process, second thing it's doing is it's saying what is the gap, that we don't know the end-to-end business process and life cycle are undefined, right? We just got a one week statement. So in order to have that process documented, the first question would be, how is leave requested today? First, somebody will request it. What will trigger the process? Any specific area? What information must an employee provide when employed? So this will basically form your, create your form. Whenever you go to a bank or hospital, they ask you to fill out a form. There are different fields on it, different values you need to provide information, right? So this is the kind of thing which will help us to have a ServiceNow form into the portal, so that you can intake the information from the user, and then they can submit and trigger the process. So what should happen immediately after an employee submits a request? Like, should a case be getting created? Should a request number should be generated, right? To whom it should be getting assigned? What are the expected stages? Let's say in my leave process, I want 4 stages: open, in progress, and review, and or maybe on hold as well, and then close. 5 stages, right? So can an employee save a leave application as a draft? Sometimes you are unsure whether, I can come back to this, or I can, do work on it again. So yes, the draft option should be there. But we need to check with the client. Do they even want it? As a part of best practices, you should be recommending from your BA side, that okay, this can make the process more smoother, more efficient. But yeah, make sure to check with your client regarding these sort of questions. Then next is regarding approvals. Then we have business rules and leave policies. So you see the kind of granularity the AI brings into the picture. We could place only 13 questions within 5 to 8 minutes, I would say. But within 2 seconds, or let's say 5 seconds, the moment I shared my prompt with it, AI has covered every each area and has given me such detailed questions. Now imagine this kind of requirement gathering. I share this with client. There is no way I'm missing out on any detail, right? So it says key requirements that are still missing. So before moving into solution design, you would want the client to answer this all, proper, all of these needs, right? Only after these are sufficiently understood, then it would suggest you to move into solution designing, where we can determine that the how the requirement should be implemented. How is the later picture, but what we are going to do, what do we need to do? That is your first question, right? So how many of you actually can see the difference, that it is bringing, like how we were doing on a human level and how the things are here, when we check with the AI. This is the major gap which we are, we are able to track here, that okay, AI can help us to draft the questions 10 times better. It's so that is what I'm telling you from the very beginning. AI is not to replace you, but it is there to make your work better, right? So what does a business analyst actually do? You turn the ambiguity into shared understanding between the client, between the technical team. You are acting as a bridge between them, right? You understand a business problem, you discover what the business actually needs, and then you translate that need into a solution business and technology teams can build together. So you're not a document writer, you're a problem translator. You are understanding from client by giving them all these sort of questions, understanding what they need, and then translating into a user story and giving it to the developers. So this is the journey, how it looks like. Business problem, you discover it, you understand, you translate, you validate with the client, and then you provide a value to it, right? So this is very important. You right? Any questions so far on this one?
No, I think those are great points. I know one of the things that I've incorporated into my prompt was adding the for the AI to also include what ServiceNow best practices are for whichever
Perfect.
module that I am, you know,
Right. Yes.
supporting, and then also to take all of those questions. And I also add the SDLC into it, and then also to put it into phases.
Exactly. Crystal, this is a very good point you have brought out. So, since we are already asking these questions, from the client, in a way, by asking these questions, we are also kind of consulting them, right? That this is the input you should be providing, because they are very new. They are not from the ServiceNow background. You are solely responsible for consulting them, for analyzing the information. So, if you can add one more prompt into it, that let's keep the questions aligned to the ServiceNow best practices, it will further refine it. So it's a very good point to take into the notice, right? So the overall practice, the motive behind this activity was that, did AI identify something we missed? Definitely yes, right? Did we identify something that AI didn't understand because it doesn't know our organization? Possibly, right? Because but that's exactly that's our teaching moment in this case. So human BA plus AI is human BA working manually, but AI output can't be equal to the validated business requirements, right? So that is very important to understand. Okay, now the BA sits in the middle by design, right? So you are acting as a bridge. I would again say you are acting as a bridge between whom? Between the client and your technical team. So different groups speak different languages. very clear. Business knows the business language, technology knows the typical IT language, right? So this is where you are stepping into, right? And their business will be more focused on the outcomes. What are the pain points, right? What kind of policies they have, what kind of risk do they have, right? And what is their customer, who are their customer or employee, what is their experience, what cost it will take, and what value it will bring. Whereas the technology is not focused on any of these pointers. They're focused on how we build an architecture for this problem, how we configure it, like actually build it, do the development, what is the data, what are the integrations, what is the security, how do we test it. So now you see, you as a business analyst, you're acting as a bridge between all of them, right? Now, when we did this AI thing, when AI entered into the story, so instead of spending hours manually organizing the notes by asking these questions, AI can help you summarize the discussion, right? It can help you identify the potential requirements that are there. It can suggest the unanswered questions from the client. But definitely you need to validate it with them. It can draft user stories for you. Let's say you get a requirement gathering template from generated from the chat gpt, and now it says, okay, now let's ask from the client. They fill in the outputs, and now you don't even have to sit for hours, do your brainstorming, or you don't even have to manually create the user stories. It can draft user stories for you based on that requirement gathering template. It can suggest you what would be the right acceptance criteria for these requirements. It can identify any ambiguous language, right? It can help you create test scenarios. If you are having any kind of communications with your client, it can summarize those communications. So that's powerful. But here's the catch. Just like I said, AI doesn't know your client's business simply because you give it a one prompt. It can confidently misunderstood the context. It can miss the organizational policies. Since this point is already mentioned here, right? It doesn't automatically know that which stakeholder has the decision authority. It doesn't know whether a technically possible solution is actually appropriate for business or not, right? So that's why the BA doesn't disappear from the picture. The BA's role move upward from only producing documentation to providing judgment, providing context, giving the validation, and providing the business value. So AI will be part of this entire course. AI is not going to appear in one class called Introduction to AI. You will encounter it throughout the program. When we learn requirements, we will use AI to help analyze requirements. When we learn user stories, we will explore AI-assisted story creation. When we learn testing, we will use AI to identify the test scenarios and edge cases. I'm not saying you have to create test scenarios as a BA, but trust me, many roles, during interview, they expect you to at least create the test scenarios for the QA, right? Or because you are the one who did the requirement gathering, you are better accustomed with it. So when we, enter ServiceNow, we will explore Now Assist and AI-powered experiences. And when we study ITSM, we will see how the AI use cases are around the service operations move, right? And when we will do HRSD, we will discuss the AI assisted HR experiences, any additional privacy considerations that are involved there. And by the end, I want you to say that, okay, I know business analysis and I know a little AI. This is not something like little AI is shouldn't be your answer. Sorry, I don't want you to say that I know only little AI. I want you to say that, okay, I know how to perform business analysis in an AI enabled ServiceNow environment. Because trust me, ServiceNow has adapted in every area, every corner AI in a very broader perspective, right? So when you're becoming a ServiceNow business analyst, so your answer should be that, okay, I know how to work in an AI enabled ServiceNow environment. Now that's a very different proposition, even if you use it during your interviews, during your, getting your ServiceNow BA roles. So now who can become a BA, right? One misconception that I want to remove today is I need to be highly technical to become a ServiceNow BA, right? Now you must be thinking architecture, data integrations, all this. You don't need to become a developer. This is the role of a technical developer. What you need is curiosity, just like you have shown me in our previous activity, right? You need communication, you need structured thinking. Okay, how to think in terms of like structure, like, okay, first somebody needs to raise a request, somebody needs to review or approve it, right? All that. You need to be comfortable asking the questions, and you need the confidence to sometimes tell a room that I understand the solution you're requesting, but can we first understand the problem we are trying to solve? This is the kind of confidence you should be having, because that is the BA thinking. Technical knowledge can be taught, ServiceNow can be taught, templates can be taught or created, AI tools can also be taught. Thinking critically is the skill we are going to develop throughout all of them, right? That is very important. So, any questions so far that we have? Okay.
Yes, somebody had dropped into the chat. Saeed wanted to see the prompt again. Can you paste the prompt into
Sure.
the chat?
Yeah, let me do that. So if I go back here, it completely depends on like what you want to do with like your level of curiosity, what you have. So let me just put it into the chat. You all can actually use it and try to see the difference it brings to your work, right? So it can be used in many areas. Perfect. Okay. Now let's go to the day in the life of a ServiceNow BA. Let's make the role practical now. Imagine it's Monday morning, right? And at 9 a.m., you're reviewing your emails. There are team messages. You have your Zira or Azure backlog. When I say Zira and Azure, these are the tools to manage your or create your stories into. And there is a like backlog there, and you are having some priorities. By 10 a.m., you might have a client workshop, right? You attend a client workshop, the client explains a business problem, you're actively listening, asking the questions and documenting the requirements, right? And by 11:30 you analyze the workshop output. Okay, what all we discussed, AI may help you organize the transcript or identify the questions, but you make sure you validate everything, right? We can't rely on AI blindly. I'm again repeating it, never rely on AI blindly. It's very important, always validate the outputs it generates. Around 1 p.m., you work with your architect or development team. Let's say you have your daily stand-up call to sync with them that, okay, what are we up to? What are we going to do? And they ask you, let's say they are asking me, I'm working with my architect or development team, and they're asking, Gurpreet, what should happen if the employee belongs to another country? You realize that's an uncovered scenario, right? So you go back to the stakeholder. You ask them the question. Ideally, the best practice is that being a good BA, you cover it in the first place. But because sometimes not every time you will get such a well-skilled architect who will let you know the requirement gaps. They will just blindly build whatever you give them, right? They will miss out on the details. So ideally, it's your responsibility to make sure you're covering every aspect of it. Then by 2:30 p.m., you refine user stories and write some acceptance criteria. By 4 p.m., you review something developers have configured. You're actually going through it to make sure they have exactly built what was captured in the requirement. So does it actually meet the business requirement? Right? That's your main question. That's how it should be. And by 5 p.m., you prepare for tomorrow's stakeholder session if you have any. So that's the business analysis, right? Have you noticed something? Very little of the job is simply writing documents. The real work is thinking, communicating, analyzing, validating, and connecting the people. So that is very important to understand, right? Now we have already done the because there was another activity which I was planning for the second business problem, that we need an employee leave application in ServiceNow. Since we already covered it using our AI, and you already have the prompt, so you can explore more into it after this session, and you can see how it makes a difference into or how it adds to the BA skills, this AI. So now imagine I put the same sentence, just like I did in the chat GPT, and if you would have doing it solely as a human, you have to notice the difference, that what sort of refinement it provides to you. Now, I also want you to understand something about your career, right? Your first objective should not simply be, I want a ServiceNow certification. Because definitely, in order to step into the ServiceNow world, certifications are very important. Your first major certification would be CSA, that is Certified ServiceNow Administrator, right? So, certifications are valuable, but companies ultimately hire people to solve the problems. I want you to become someone who can sit in the front of the stakeholder and confidently say, walk me through what happens today. Then, where does this process fail? Then, what outcome what outcome would success look like? And eventually, here's how we can translate that into ServiceNow requirements. If you can do that and understand how AI can make that work faster and smarter, you become much more valuable than someone who has simply memorized the terminology or who simply has the certification. I'm not saying certification is not important, it is very important because it's just like, getting a piece of degree. Degree, how much of we learn, I think 80% it depends on your own capability, your own efforts, rather apart from the teaching in the classes. So, but at the end of the day, your degree gets you to places. That piece of paper you get by the end of your graduation, it makes you eligible for certain areas. Similarly, certification service now is that piece of degree which you need. But at the end of the day, it's your skill set, it's your understanding, it's your smartness which is going to get into the role. So by the end of this program, the goal is for you to able to say that, okay, I understand a business problem. I can run the requirement discussion. I can ask strong elicitation questions. I can document the as is and to be process. I can write the requirement, create user stories. You know how to work in the agile format, like step by step, right? You understand the ServiceNow platform, the modules under it that we are planning, ITSM and HRST. You know how to work with technical teams, communicate with your client, right? So, and use AI responsibly throughout that life cycle, because that's the professional we are building, not someone who simply knows the definitions, right? So that's very important. Now, we already know about this thing that AI entered into the BA workflow. So it can accelerate the work around judgment. For workshop, it can summarize your discussion requirements. It can support the ambiguity and the gaps, just like we did for this example, which I shared the prompt for. It can write user stories for you, help you in suggesting the scenarios and the edge cases for testing. It can tailor your summaries, whatever communication you had with your stakeholder. It can help you to do the search and synthesize your scenarios. So AI is excellent at first drafts, pattern finding, and speed. The BA still remains accountable for the final context and accuracy and business value. So always validate the output of the AI. Now, this is exactly what we did when we put that prompt into the chat GPT, right? So human BA, you knew the context, you have the empathy, you have stakeholder trust, you have a good judgment, you can read the room, you have organizational nuance, you know how the things are, you have accountability. But AI is all about speed, the scale, the pattern detection, the first draft, summarization, idea generation. Now, let's combine these two together, and what you are actually generating is AI-enabled BA. If you are a good human BA, right, you know how to use AI. Now, your new title would be AI-enabled BA, where there is faster discovery, better preparation, stronger coverage, more time for thinking, validated outputs, and you have higher value conversations. So, this is how human plus AI can together, bring more refinement to the work that you're doing. Now there was this one live AI challenge that I was thinking, right? So we needed to do the human thinking first, then bring in AI. So this is the same thing which we already did. Round one was human BA, which I skipped because we already did another activity. AI co-pilot, or let's say chat GPT, we compared, so there was a lot of difference. It actually given you in milliseconds or seconds those number of questions which we couldn't draft even in 5 to 10 minutes, right? So the winner, who is the winner here? The strongest validated requirement set, not the longest list. It does sometimes it doesn't mean that, okay, AI is giving you so much big list of questions, so it's the more appropriate set of questions. Sometimes even from your own understanding, you can create such long list of such 10 best questions to be asked from the client, because we don't want to overwhelm the client in the first go by asking 50 questions, right? So you pick the best or most important questions from each set, and then you share it with the client. Now, yeah, so the skill has changed from using AI to thinking with AI. A prompt is not a requirement, and output is not a discussion, a decision, right? So using AIs, we ask AI, we copy the output, we paste into the story, and we assume it is correct. This is not the best practice, right? This can lead to privacy breach. There is a bias in this one. So what we need to do is we need to think with the AI. We are giving them the context. We're asking deliberately. If you notice in my prompt, it was very deliberate, right? you see at the prompt, I have actually given him the areas, the chat GPT. Okay, you need to think in this perspective after giving the statement. So I gave the context, I gave the, I asked deliberately about the areas that I need information on. If it is giving me certain set of questions, now when I'm going through it, if I'm a seasoned or professional BA, I have good skill set, I might challenge some assumptions that it is telling me, or some sort of questions I can say, why do we need it? It is not even required. Then, based on that, I can challenge the assumptions. And then once I have the final list, then I can validate with the stakeholders. We can protect the sensitive data. Sometimes organizations have the policy you can't share the entire process into the AI tools, right? So we have to protect the sensitive data. We need to own the final decision. So validation, context, and accountability. This is how exactly to work with the AI, right? Okay. Now, what are the skills of the modern ServiceNow business analyst, right? As it says, you probably already have more of these than you think. You already have communication skills. You know how to ask, listen, or explain. You might have your critical thinking. You challenge the questions. You know the requirements. You know how to discover more or how to build on the of that. Some of you might already know how to, get into the process thinking, like do the current process or to be. Agile delivery is very important. If many of you are not familiar, no worries. We will be covering it over upcoming sessions. And ServiceNow literacy. Now, this is exactly what we will be learning. Definitely B and AI is into the picture throughout, but platform knowledge, the module knowledge is very important. Then you need to know the data awareness, what is the quality of the data, what level of access do we need, right? And finally, something which will be consistent throughout, that would be your AI literacy. So the prompting is very important, the validation, the kind of validation, the governance you need to have. So now ask yourself, which three do you already use in your current life or job, and try to build on the on top of that, because that will set your foundation. Okay. Now, that same question, do I need to be highly technical? No. But you definitely need enough technical literacy so that you can ask better questions. Just like I think somebody said, we need to consider the service no best practices. I think it was Crystal. So that is exactly if you don't know the platform, how would you know the service no best practices, right? So technical literacy, I won't say you need to be highly technical, but it is important to some extent. You do not need to become a developer, right? Technical knowledge will keep growing with the time, but your BA thinking will come first. So this is exactly how it will go for you. You understand why does this matter, the business problem. You will capture the process. You will see that, okay, what must the solution do as per the requirement? How can ServiceNow support it? And what constraints or integrations matter? So this is where the technical collaboration with your architect will happen. But this will be the last stage. First four you see, it's solely you. So it's on your skill set. Now, your 8 week journey, this is a very high level of, that I would say overview. We're already par the 8 minutes, I know that. So this is the last slide of the day. This is how your 8 week journey would look like. First, we will be covering the business analysis fundamentals, how the agile looks like, how to do the requirement gathering, how the, prompting comes into the picture, any Gen AI. And then you will learn to document the process, the stories, UAT. Then we will learn about ServiceNow Foundation, the fundamentals, right? The admin part. Uh, Configuration plus flow is also a part of that. We have CMDB, which is talking about the data, the ITL best practices, incident problem change. It is the ITSM process. Then you will learn about reporting. You will learn about little bit about project management because it's important. You need to learn about the agile and everything, right? Then HRSD plus capstone, where we'll be preparing you for the interview, right? Giving you real project experience, and you will be having a AI-enabled BA portfolio. So now the final destination, how it should look for you. You should be like, okay, give me a business problem and I know how to start solving it. That is the mindset that we want to build here, right? So we need to ask better questions. We should be able to turn the needs into buildable requirements and use AI without outsourcing our judgment, right? So that is all about today's session. Let me know if you have any questions. I think the platform is open for that. If you want, we have a detailed curriculum as well, which I have here with me. Just one. right? So it talks about what all we'll be doing in our 8 weeks of learning, why the program is different, BA foundations. It's basically the same thing which I've covered, but it's a detailed version of that, right? Which I've covered in the second last slide. So BA fundamentals, project lifecycle, requirement engineering, all sort of things that are required, be it related to your BA role, ServiceNow admin, or yes, Crystal, I see your hand raised.
Yes, so just wanting to know, will this document include the cost and schedule?
I think schedule is already in front of you. It's 8 week journey, right? It may or may not end earlier. It totally depends. The curiosity of the question, the how interactive sessions we have. For the post part, I would hand it over to Sudesh in that case. I will stop sharing my screen. Thank you everyone for staying throughout. I hope you enjoyed the session and you were able to take something valuable out of it. And you can see actually the vision, how how we will be moving ahead and how it can benefit you in your current career, right? So, yep,
Yeah.
Sudesh, over to you. Yep, thank you.
I think Caleb has a question. Caleb, you have a question?
Yeah, I
Raise
do
your
have a
hand.
question. Good day. First of all, I want to find out. For me, I'm certified. I have 3 certifications in ServiceNow already. Part of the reason I'm even trying to join this is because in my workplace, we don't have a BA anymore for ServiceNow. We used to be there, and for whatever reason, people who really don't understand ServiceNow will look at you to be a developer, administrator, or whatever it is. So I find myself being in a situation where now I'm multitasking and I'm handling the BA part of service now. So I'm a certified administrator. I also have my CMDB. I also have ITSM, and I also have my hardware asset management. So now I'm finding myself in the BA area, which I want to strengthen it because I want to be able to handle it on a more professional level. Then I just get to speak. So we used to have a BA who is no longer there, and now I have to start handling the BA aspects, doing the elicitations, gathering requirements. Now that's first of the reason why I joined. My question here is, apart from Chat GPT and what she just showed us using the prompt and all that, that is stuff I already started doing. I don't only use Chat GPT, I use Cloud, and I ask more high level prompt to be able to get all my elicitations, requirements to the point of testing my in scope and all that. Is there any other tool that we're going to learn during the course of this program that will enhance what we need to do via AI and the BA together to be able to pull out informations we need on service now? And hope it's not just the generative AIs. Are there other tools, agentic AIs that can help in situations like that?
Definitely, Caleb. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, right? Is it Caleb or
Yeah, it's Caleb. You're pronouncing it right.
Caleb? Okay. Yeah. So, since you signed the, that curriculum I was showing you, so now assist, agentic AI, Gen AI, definitely we're going to cover those topics because nowadays ServiceNow, if you don't know those areas, you can't use it to the best. So definitely those are going to be covered.
Will that be Now Assist?
Yes, Crystal. So we
Okay.
have different AI areas into our, service now, which have been recently added. That's like, I mean, it's been a while now, but since, because many people are getting accustomed to it, we have Gen AI, we have Agentic AI, right? We have Now Assist. So all of these areas we are definitely going to cover because if you are trying to learn service now in today's world without the AI topics, I would say you won't be able to make the best out of it. So we are going to cover those topics.
Any other questions, guys, before we close the session? Abdul, Atin, Aisha, Banu, Caleb, Crystal, Gauri, Godson, Guna, Jyoti, Kavya, Kirtana, Nikki, Noor, Tanusha, Pragdish, Sandhya, Shriram, Syed, any questions at all? Okay. All right. Okay.
All
So
good.
I want to
Thank you.
conclude. You're welcome. I hope you guys like the first session. I do want to let you know that I want to set up some clear expectations. There are some guys over here who are from IT, who have been in some kind of BA role, and they are here to learn ServiceNow only. That's totally all right. Okay. I do want to let you know that I customize this whole program based on your individual needs. All right. You're not necessarily have to go through the whole training. Depends on where you are based on your past experience. It's very important for you to get on a one-on-one phone call with me or chat with me to get to understand how I can support you. I do see a lot of you guys are here to learn ServiceNow, and then we have people who never been in tech trying to break in as a business analyst or a business process associate in ServiceNow, right? This program is designed for anybody to get into IT, regardless whether you have experience or not. I'll take care of that. Okay. We have a marketing plan, we have a marketing team. Okay, we are registered in US and Canada, we got our connections. All you got to do is understand the product. The first part is to understand the product of ServiceNow. You are going to get a job not because of business analysis, you're going to get because of ServiceNow knowledge. You all understand me? Give me a thumbs up if you understand that, or give me in the chat, just type yes if you understand what I'm saying. I want to make it really clear. Right? Very good. I see a lot of people give me a thumbs up. That's a good one. I repeat, you're going to get into a new career not because of BA, it's because of ServiceNow, right? And we are the only people training people to get into folks into BPA, BPC, and BA roles and many functional roles in ServiceNow. And
Right.
we are working currently in US, Canada, UK, and sometimes in India too. And I get people from Pakistan and Nigeria as well sometimes. So I kind of I'm more we have a lot of responsibility to make sure that we guide you the right way. We are not doing this for the first time. We have done multiple batches for the folks who are transitioning to technology. Crystal, just hang on there for a second, all right? So it's very important that you understand this is not a full-fledged BA, but you are going to learn how to work as a BA in a ServiceNow environment, in a support project, in an implementation project. From here, you'll go on to become a consultant with expertise in multiple modules like ITSM, HRSD, field service management, SecOps, legal. Depends on wherever your journey is taking in your career, right? To get started as a ServiceNow BA, it's very important for the new guys to know what's BA deliverables and all those things. But Gurpreet will train you guys to understand BA from a ServiceNow point of view. If you come around as Sudesh, I don't want to learn BA, I only want to learn ServiceNow, that's okay. But I do want to let you know the first three sessions are very light because there are newbies are here. There are guys who have never been in IT, right? So we need to be very considerate with that. Okay. Will we understand the workflow of each module of ServiceNow? This question is for Gurpreet. Gurpreet, can you take this question from Crystal? The
Uh,
chat.
Workflow for each module. That's right, yeah. So we will be definitely deep diving into, because HRSD and ITSM are huge modules. In fact, they're applications, right? And there are modules under it. So we will be covering each area. Make sure that tomorrow as a BA, if you are coming across any questions or any requirement related to, let's say, particular module under that application, you will be able to cover it. So we will be covering end-to-end workflow. And also, I just want to add that, for people who are new to ServiceNow or to the tech background, don't judge yourself today based on how much ServiceNow you already know. And don't worry if the words like CMDB, ACL, Flow Designer, HRSD, or Now Assist sound very unfamiliar to you, because that's why you're here, right? What matters at the beginning is whether you're willing to learn how to think. Because over the coming weeks, we are going to move from I don't know what a BA does to I understand the role. I don't know what ServiceNow does, but I can analyze the requirements. I understand ServiceNow. I can use the best practices. Now give me a problem. I know how to start solving it. So, and AI will be your co-pilot throughout, right? We have many different areas. So I just want you to have like faith into the process. We are keeping the sessions very layman terms. very lightweight, as Sudesh said in the beginning, because we don't want to overwhelm you with information. But as the course will be unfolding itself, you will come to know that okay, how much value it is adding to your current careers, and even if you're stepping into a new one.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And Crystal, I hope you got your answer there. I do want to tell you, like, getting into a new technology, getting into a new transition can be very daunting. It requires an expert coaching to get here. It's not just a training, it's a mentorship, it's a coaching. I will be coaching you, Gurpreet will be coaching you, we will be mentoring you. There'll be a lot of workshops happening apart from your training here, right? So your first phase is your physical training, then you complete your ServiceNow admin certification, which is must. We will provide you the most latest dumps because you just can't find the latest dumps everywhere. You need to get from a partner company. So we will give you that. That will help you clear that. And then we'll build up a marketable resume for you, projects for you, which you can which can discuss in your interviews, interview questions preparation, technical interview preparations, and then we market you in a resume. There's a lot of good stuff happening over here. I will take you through that by the end of the session on Friday, anyways. But I do want to let you know that this is a kind of transition where you hustle in 0 to 100 in a matter of like 10 weeks. It sounds crazy, right? It's not like a regular college. You just go in there and you finish your degree or a diploma and you have a certification, you get an intern and you go. No, we are here preparing you for the job. And I also want to tell you when I say that, you're not going to learn all the job in the training. This training is going to help you clear the interview. That's the first level. Okay. And the second thing is when you go into the job, we will help you provide you job support, project support to help you clear that too. If you need that, it's not must. If you need, we do have folks who can help you. We can provide consultancy services to help you with that. All right. We got like everything covered. And this should be your last upgrade towards the ServiceNow. If it's like SAP, it's a future career for 10, 15 years. I see a runway in this career because they are coming up like SAP now. They are now instances of agentic AI. It's a cloud product, and there you go. All right. So all you need is a responsible partner to help you, and we are here. We got experience to help you. All you have to do is dedicate yourself for the next 3 months. Okay, and do not have any plan B. And I'll tell you that we have folks getting into job every month. There are people making $100 per hour, $90 per hour with no tech experience. They got job not because of business analysts, because of ServiceNow. Okay, and there's a lot of information online, but there are a lot of scattered information which will not streamline this. All right, it's very important for you to understand what are the foundation level knowledge modules we need, and then how do we learn the other modules which are tier one demand in the job market. All right, and for the folks who have never been IT, you're in the right place. Do not get overwhelmed by the people who have experience. That's all right. Okay, everybody is running their own race, right? And you'll be running your own race. We come together and we learn together, but when we support you individually. We market you individually. I'll just show you a small example of how it works so you get an idea. I'm going to share my screen here. A quick second here. Give me a sec. Are you all with me so far? Yes, you can unmute your mic. If you're going to become an IT consultant, you need to start talking, guys. You guys are so quiet. All right. Everybody's able to see my WhatsApp here?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So just see, these are the guys who are in marketing, the guys who came before you, how we support them. So for example, there's Anand here. Okay, he went for an interview, but where is Dheeraj? Okay, for example, it's Dheeraj. We will once you finish your mock interviews, we get into marketing your resume here. Okay, and where we market you, this is an interview for Dheeraj, and we will market on your behalf. There's opening here for 120,000, and this person we are interviewing him right now, and then there are a lot of people, Harpreet, Janisha. There's a lot of people we are engaging. So we train you together. But when we come to support you, we take it individually. All right. So that's how it goes. I do not want to hold your time. I know it's really late. I'm going to let you guys go. This is serious, and I would like to see you guys tomorrow, same time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Did you guys like the session today from Gurpreet? Yes, right? Okay.
Yes.
Gurpreet, thank you so much for the amazing session. You're a rock star. Guys, I tell you something. Gurpreet is got a lot of knowledge. She's a senior consultant. You need to ask questions to unlock the trainer. By being quiet, you're not going to become a consultant. I'll tell you right away. You want to become a consultant, get yourself uncomfortable before. You're comfortable, you don't learn. Okay, we've got to make yourself uncomfortable and get used to it. And that's where the money is. Okay, you're in the right hands. I'm the guy who will take you to the job, and Gurpreet will give you the product knowledge to understand the ServiceNow module in 2026. We need to get trained by consultants who are in the job, not by guys who are simply getting certified. What do you say, guys?
I totally agree with that. Just
Yeah,
one thing that I wanted to see if I can. You said you
yes,
created this, on your own, and I believe you guys are creating this from real life experience. One of the experiences that I had, I went into a project supporting a ServiceNow SPM platform, and I
yeah,
had came from processing ITAM tickets, and I was
okay,
hired on for the SPM platform, and I wrote out the BRD to integrate ServiceNow into SAP Concur, and that was a success for me. But in part of that, one of the things I noticed is that there was a consulting company that they had let go. And the reason for that I discovered was because that company did not come with enough initiative, meaning pulling together information before getting to the table with the client. And
yeah.
so do you have like any type of anything put together on just ways to stay away from failing on projects as a BA? Because sometimes people just feel like you can have a template and all these questions and how we had the questions all listed. We want to also have a lean initiative where we can get everything we need a bit faster. So, um,
That's
do you
fine,
understand where I'm
Crystal.
coming at? Okay,
Right.
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
Firstly, it's a very good, I think it's a very proud moment to know that since you were already working on ITAM tickets and you handled the SPM part integration so well, right? Which was not
Mm-hmm.
even part of your requirement. That was really good. And I think it's a very good learning that you've taken from there that they were not very proactive or taking initiatives. So, you're asking about the lessons that we will be sharing with you. So definitely me coming from, my 7+ years of experience from ServiceNow platform, with multiple clients I've done on-site and off-site, I will definitely be sharing the do's and don'ts, right? And what
Good.
we need to take care of. So I will make sure that we have dedicated, documentation related to it. Let me note it down.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, yeah, usually I share it in the form of slide, but I think it would be rather better to have a document so everybody can, during their journey, they can take care of those things and have better client engagements.
Yes, client engagement. That's right. All right.
Right.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Before I close the session, I do want to emphasize that ServiceNow roles in business process consultant are one of those careers which are in high demand and very low in supply globally, right? And I see that our folks who got jobs, they got job in Latin America, North America, Middle East, Asia Pacific, all right? So they were able to get jobs out of from a different country abroad, right? So it becomes a global consulting. So it's important for us to move into a career which is in high demand. I can assure you, a good 95% of the population do not know what is ServiceNow. They don't even know there's a BA role in ServiceNow. And that's a good thing for you because now you're applying for a job which is like they're going to put red carpet for you. Rather than, have you been in a situation where you applied hundreds of jobs and you're tired? Have you anybody been there in that situation? Yes, unmute your mic. Have you been in a situation where you've been tired of applying for jobs and you're not getting a call, you're getting rejection email? Have you ever been in that situation before? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it? And it's very frustrating, right?
Yep.
Right? And you start questioning yourself. You got to pay bills, right? How you got this is what you knew, and you're not getting calls. It's frustrating. We got bills to pay, we have rents to pay, we got mortgages to pay, we have car insurance to pay, and name it. We got to put food on the table, right? It's important that we need to have a career which is recession proof, which is future career, it's in cloud, it's in AI, and you're able to get into any domain, telecom, banking, healthcare, insurance, you name it, right? Of course, there's a different modules, but I see majority of the folks are going into financial sector. So you need a career where you can become a demand commodity. You don't have to depend on an employee for your living, but you will be able to call the shots. Hey, in my past role, I was taking home $70, $80 per hour. I'm okay if you can give me $90 to $100 an hour. Now you can call the shot. How will that sound if you can dictate the terms? How will that sound, guys?
Amazing.
Come on, unmute your mic, talk to me.
I know
How will
that's
that sound?
right.
That
Right?
sounds good.
So I tell you something. For you to do that, I tell you, I did that in my life, and it really worked for me, right?
Yeah.
So instead of chasing domain, I want to become banking domain, I'm going to insurance domain, I became a telecom domain, I want to go into healthcare. You're messing yourself. If that domain is going down, you're done. Instead, you want to become an expert on a product which is global, which can go into any sector. Now, hundreds of doors opening for you, and you're able to get different kind of incomes based on different. This is where the wealth builds, right? And here we have business analysts, implementation specialists, partners. I have seen people earning partners, they're making like 500 to 700,000 per year. Implementation specialist folks who have different module experience making $300,000 a year. So this is one career where you can dedicate yourself, product knowledge, get into the weeds of it. It may sound impossible. It sounds impossible until you do it. I did it myself exactly where you are today. I did the same way many, many years before. And you guys are doing the same way how I transition. All right. So wish you all the best. I'm so excited for you. Come again tomorrow evening at 8:30 p.m. Be fired up. You're with the right team, and let us get you into the job. Okay. Have yourself a great night, guys. Thank you, Gurpreet. Y'all have been a great audience. See you guys tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Suresh.
Yeah, good night.